All right, so welcome to another one for Al Cuerpo Boxing, which means to the body. All right, let's get with it. Let's talk some boxing. So next week, August 3rd, of course, you guys know the big main event, Terrence Bud Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. On the co-main, right, we have Pitbull Cruz versus Rayo Valenzuela, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's the co-main. But, of course, we got the undercards. And today's episode, let's go ahead and talk about the return of Andy Ruiz, who will be facing Big Baby Miller, or Gerald Miller. Andy Ruiz has been inactive. He hasn't last fought, I guess, since Luis Ortiz. I believe that's already been about 2 years. But Big Baby Miller, he had previously fought Daniel Dubois, and Dubois actually has a big fight lined up with Anthony Joshua for the IBF heavyweight title. But anyways, yeah, so Big Baby has been in motion. At least he's fought, at least twice in 2023, again against Dubois. And then before that, he fought Lucas Brown, who's also been in the game for quite some time. And he won that fight by stoppage. So I thought Big Baby Miller did a pretty good job, at least trying to go the full 10 against Daniel Dubois. Of course, he got, or I should say, unfortunately, he got stopped in the last seconds of the round, or I forgot which time it was, but he pretty much got stopped in the last round of the 10th against Dubois. Dubois just had his combinations in motion, and the ref stopped it, and good decision he did. And so, but that style is a different type of physique, a different type of combination punching when we're talking about Andy Ruiz. Now, Andy Ruiz, in my opinion, his worst fight, or I guess performance was against Chris Arreola. Chris Arreola has been in the game. He's one of the few, aside from AJ, that fought, and of course Fury, but they had fought Klitschko back in the day. And of course, Arreola has a pretty, I believe he's already retired, but a lot of experience at heavyweight. So he saw a lot of stuff, and he was able to read Andy Ruiz's inside game. And I think he's actually, of course, faster than Big Baby. I would say Big Baby Miller, though, has more pop in his power punching and his overhand and just pretty much his overhand sluggers more than Chris Arreola. But again, all these different variables are in play because again, Andy Ruiz, he's been inactive. Whereas Big Baby Miller, most would say that Andy Ruiz is actually a better fighter than Big Baby. Just for the the background in boxing, he's been Andy Ruiz has been doing this as a kid, and I believe Big Baby Miller, prior to boxing, he was more into kickboxing or some sort of MMA art. Not sure if it was kickboxing or if it was I don't know. I'm more than sure it was kickboxing, but sorry about that. This is this fight. I see Andy Ruiz winning this fight either on points, who knows, maybe even a split decision towards Andy Ruiz. But it all depends on how much the Big Baby has improved in these last two fights. He took a lot of damage against Daniel Dubois, so I wonder if that's going to play effect. Whereas Andy Ruiz, he actually took some damage too, in the Arreola and Ortiz bout, but he's had already 2 years to recoup from that. It's been a good 2 years to recoup from damage. That's a pretty good time frame to get back into boxing. Usually when it's a brutal fight that kind of wore you down, but I think more so because Premier Boxing Champions, they've been having problems with their business output in the last 2 years significantly. So I think that's the reason why Andy Ruiz couldn't get fights lined up. But initially I would say that Andy Ruiz is the type of guy that could stop Big Baby and just the type of output, getting him on the ropes. I think he's definitely faster than Big Baby Miller, and unfortunately, the guys are definitely, I guess you could say overweight, but heavyweight, it's unlimited. So who am I to say somebody's overweight if you get the job done at that weight class? But I would still lean towards Andy Ruiz in winning this fight on speed and on points. But depending on the shape, or I guess the durability from Big Baby, it might even be a stoppage in Andy Ruiz's favor. It's just hard to know. So with all that being said, I would actually have this fight a 50-50 match, to be honest. Now that I rethink it, I think I had said Andy Ruiz on points a couple minutes ago, but I think it's actually a 50-50 fight given the variables and the circumstances at play, how long they've been out of the ring and who they fought recently, because definitely fighting a guy like Daniel Dubois is a pretty good taster to go against a guy like Andy Ruiz with that type of output and I guess power. I would say Dubois has more pop than both of those guys. So that's why I have this 50-50. And who knows? It might even also be an upset in a Big Baby stopping, Andy Ruiz. And who knows? Assuming if Jared Anderson wins, we might get a Jared Anderson versus Big Baby Miller, which, in my opinion, on paper and the marketing in that, it would be a big fight at heavyweight. At least something of a nice undercard, or who knows? Maybe even a main event. But that's pretty much how I foresee this bout with Andy Ruiz and Big Baby. As far as the age, let's take a quick look on Andy. Andy Ruiz is 37, and let's see, Big Baby Miller, he is probably about the same age, 36. So yeah, about the same age. But I think this is a really, really, really good card, just because this fight is going to be action-packed. Probably going to be like the Joyce versus Chisora bout, and that those guys were giving it all. And I actually foresee probably Big Baby Miller, swinging haymakers the way Chisora did against Joe Joyce, because I was actually shocked with this fight. I thought Joe Joyce was going to have a better game plan, just by using his jab and, fighting from the outside and, not get into Chisora's game. But, this was Chisora's, I guess, maybe retirement fight should he have lost. So he brought it all out. And I'm more than sure we're going to see Chisora again. I'm not sure if he announced that he would retire even after winning this fight. But I think Chisora just raised his stock once again. And who knows who he's going to fight next, I wouldn't be surprised, fellas, if we get a Zhang versus Chisora, which I think is I guess it's a good fight, but I would have Zhang stopping Derek Chisora. Big Bang Zhang is another guy that we have to watch out for in the heavyweight division. Has a lot of thumping power and just a very awkward type of athleticism, given he's a southpaw and how big he is. It's just really rare to see a Chinaman, if I'm saying that politically correct or not, but that type of physique in boxing and that type of power. So it's good to see a guy like Big Bang Zhang at heavyweight. So let me know what you guys think on this one. Not really much of I guess I did speak more theory than technique or technical aspects of Andy Ruiz versus Big Baby, but given their styles and the type of slugging, I think they're going to probably mimic. We're going to see the type of fight that we saw Andy Ruiz versus Crisciola, or I guess the way Joe Joyce fought Derek Chisora this past week. And I think it's going to be that type of fight. And if that's the case, that's why I have it kind of a 50-50 fight. Both these guys have power. So who knows? It might end in a knockout, 50-50, as I said, or depending on the type of style or strategy, it might. If it goes by points, I would lean more toward Andy Ruiz, just because he has that mindset to perhaps win on points, or at least being aware of the point system going the full 10 or 12 rounds. I'm not sure how many rounds this bout is going to be. Actually, we can just look at it now. I can't see. My page is not refreshing. But let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys having in this fight? And I will catch you on the next one. Perhaps let's talk about David Morrell versus what's his name, Zlajovic, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But that's going to be another good fight, just because David Morrell is going to have some revenge for his countryman and Sullivan Barrera in the Cuban style, and it'll be Morrell Jr.'s debut 175 fight. So that's actually a really good fight to talk about. I will catch you guys on the next one, on this one, on Al Cuerpo Boxing, which means to the body.